The Legends of King Arthur and His Knights. Chapter 13. Chapter 13. Sir Lancelot and the Fair Maid of Astolat. Now after the quest of the Sangreal was fulfilled and all the knights who were left alive were come again to the Round Table, there was great joy in the court. And passing glad were King Arthur and Queen Guinevere to see Sir Lancelot and Sir Bors, for they had been long absent in that quest. And so greatly was Sir Lancelot's fame now spread abroad that many ladies and damsels daily resorted to him and besought him for their champion. And all right quarrels did he gladly undertake for the pleasure of our Lord Christ. And always as much as he might he withdrew him from the queen. Wherefore Queen Guinevere, who counted him for her own knight, grew wroth with him, and on a certain day she called him to her chamber, and said thus, Sir Lancelot, I daily see thy loyalty to me doth slack, for ever thou art absent from this court, and takest other ladies' quarrels on thee more than ever thou wert wont. Now do I understand thee, false knight, and therefore shall I never trust thee more. Depart now from my sight, and come no more within this court upon pain of thy head. With that she turned from him and would hear no excuses. So Sir Lancelot departed in heaviness of heart, and calling Sir Bors, Sir Ector, and Sir Lionel, he told them how the queen had dealt with him. Fair sir, replied Sir Bors, remember what honor ye have in this country, and how ye are called the noblest knight in the world. Wherefore go not, for women are hasty, and do often what they sore repent of afterwards. Be ruled by my advice. Take horse and ride to the hermitage beside Windsor, and there abide till I send ye better tidings. To that Sir Lancelot consented, and departed with a sorrowful countenance. Now when the queen heard of his leaving she was inwardly sorry, but made no show of grief, bearing a proud visage outwardly. And on a certain day she made a costly banquet to all the knights of the Round Table, to show she had as great joy in all others as in Sir Lancelot. And at the banquet were Sir Gawain, and his brothers Sir Agravaine, Sir Gaheris, and Sir Gareth, also Sir Modred, Sir Bors, Sir Blamur, Sir Bleoberis, Sir Ector, Sir Lionel, Sir Palomides, Sir Mador de la Porte, and his cousin Sir Patrice Knight of Ireland, Sir Pinel le Savage, and many more. Now Sir Pinel hated Sir Gawain because he had slain one of his kinsmen by treason, and Sir Gawain had a great love for all kinds of fruit, which, when Sir Pinel knew, he poisoned certain apples that were set upon the table, with intent to slay him. And so it chanced as they ate and made merry, Sir Patrice, who sat next to Sir Gawain, took one of the poisoned apples and eat it, and when he had eaten he suddenly swelled up and fell down dead. At that every knight leapt from the board ashamed and enraged nigh out of their wits, for they knew not what to say. Yet seeing that the queen had made the banquet they all had suspicion of her. My lady the queen, said Sir Gawain, I wit well this fruit was meant for me, for all men know my love for it, and now had I been nearly slain. Wherefore I fear me ye will be ashamed. This shall not end so, cried Sir Mador de la Porte. Now have I lost a noble knight of my own blood, and for this despite and shame I will be revenged to the uttermost. Then he challenged Queen Guinevere concerning the death of his cousin. But she stood still, sore abashed, and anon with her sorrow and dread, she swooned. At the noise and sudden cry came in King Arthur, and to him appealed Sir Mador, and impeached the queen. Fair lords, said he, full sorely am I troubled at this matter, for I must be rightful judge, and therein it repenteth me I may not do battle for my wife, for, as I deem, this deed was none of hers. But I suppose she will not lack a champion, and some good knight surely will put his body in jeopardy to save her. But all who had been bidden to the banquet said they could not hold the queen excused, or be her champions, for she had made the feast, and either by herself or servants must it have come. Alas, said the queen, I made this dinner for a good intent, and no evil, so God help me in my need. My lord the king, said Sir Mador, I require you heartily, as you be a righteous king, give me a day when I may have justice. Well, said the king, I give ye this day 15 days, when ye shall be ready and armed in the meadow beside Westminster, and if there be a knight to fight with you, God speed the right, and if not, then must my queen be burnt. When the king and queen were alone together he asked her how this case befell. I wot not how or in what manner, answered she. Where is Sir Lancelot? said King Arthur. For he would not grudge to do battle for thee. Sir, said she, I cannot tell you, but all his kinsmen deem he is not in this realm. "These be sad tidings," said the king. "I counsel ye to find Sir Bors, and pray him for Sir Lancelot's sake to do this battle for you." So the queen departed and sent for Sir Bors to her chamber, and besought his succor. "Madam," said he, "what would you have me do? For I may not with my honor take this matter on me. For I was at that same dinner, and all the other knights would have me ever in suspicion. Now do ye miss Sir Lancelot, for he would not have failed you in right nor yet in wrong, as ye have often proved, but now ye have driven him from the country." "Alas, fair knight," said the queen, "I put me wholly at your mercy, and all that is done amiss I will amend as ye will counsel me." And therewith she kneeled down upon both her knees before Sir Bors, and besought him to have mercy on her. Anon came in King Arthur also, and prayed him of his courtesy to help her, saying, "I require you for the love of Lancelot." "My lord," said he, "ye require the greatest thing of me that any man can ask, for if I do this battle for the queen I shall anger all my fellows of the Table Round. Nevertheless, for my lord Sir Lancelot's sake and for yours, I will that day be the queen's champion, unless there chance to come a better knight than I am to do battle for her." And this he promised on his faith. Then were the king and queen passing glad, and thanked him heartily, and so departed. But Sir Bors rode in secret to the hermitage where Sir Lancelot was, and told him all these tidings. "It has chanced as I would have it," said Sir Lancelot. "Yet make ye ready for the battle, but tarry till ye see me come." "Sir," said Sir Bors, "doubt not but ye shall have your will." But many of the knights were greatly wroth with him when they heard he was to be the queen's champion, for there were few in the court but deemed her guilty. Then said Sir Bors, "Wit ye well, fair lords, it were a shame to us all to suffer so fair and noble a lady to be burnt for lack of a champion. For ever hath she proved herself a lover of good knights, wherefore I doubt not she is guiltless of this treason." At that were some well pleased, but others rested passing wroth. And when the day was come, the king and queen and all the knights went to the meadow beside Westminster, where the battle should be fought. Then the queen was put in ward, and a great fire was made round the iron stake, where she must be burnt if Sir Mador won the day. So when the heralds blew, Sir Mador rode forth, and took oath that Queen Guinevere was guilty of Sir Patrice's death, and his oath he would prove with his body against any who would say the contrary. Then came forth Sir Bors and said, "Queen Guinevere is in the right, and that will I prove with my hands." With that they both departed to their tents to make ready for the battle. But Sir Bors tarried long, hoping Sir Lancelot would come, till Sir Mador cried out to King Arthur, "Bid thy champion come forth, unless he dare not." Then was Sir Bors ashamed, and took his horse and rode to the end of the lists. But ere he could meet Sir Mador he was ware of a knight upon a white horse, armed at all points, and with a strange shield, who rode to him and said, "I pray you withdraw from this quarrel, for it is mine, and I have ridden far to fight in it." Thereat Sir Bors rode to King Arthur, and told him that another knight was come who would do battle for the queen. "Who is he?" said King Arthur. "I may not tell you," said Sir Bors. "But he made a covenant with me to be here today, wherefore I am discharged." Then the king called that knight, and asked him if he would fight for the queen. "Therefore came I hither, Sir King," answered he. "But let us tarry no longer, for anon I have other matters to do. But wit ye well," said he to the knights of the Round Table, "it is shame to ye for such a courteous queen to suffer this dishonor." And all men marveled who this knight might be, for none knew him save Sir Bors. Then Sir Mador and the knight rode to either end of the lists, and couching their spears, ran one against the other with all their might. And Sir Mador's spear broke short, but the strange knight bore both him and his horse down to the ground. Then lightly they leaped from their saddles and drew their swords, and so came eagerly to the battle, and either gave the other many sad strokes and sore and deep wounds. Thus they fought nigh an hour, for Sir Mador was a full strong and valiant knight. But at last the strange knight smote him to the earth, and gave him such a buffet on the helm as well nigh killed him. Then did Sir Mador yield, and prayed his life. "I will but grant it thee," said the strange knight, "if thou wilt release the queen from this quarrel for ever, and promise that no mention shall be made upon Sir Patrice's tomb that ever she consented to that treason." "All this shall be done," said Sir Mador. Then the knights parters took up Sir Mador and led him to his tent, and the other knight went straight to the stair-foot of King Arthur's throne. And by that time was the queen come to the king again, and kissed him lovingly. Then both the king and she stooped down, and thanked the knight, and prayed him to put off his helm and rest him, and to take a cup of wine. And when he put his helmet off to drink, all people saw it was Sir Lancelot. But when the queen beheld him, she sank almost to the ground, weeping for sorrow and for joy, that he had done her such great goodness when she had showed him such unkindness. Then the knights of his blood gathered round him, and there was great joy and mirth in the court. And Sir Mador and Sir Lancelot were soon healed of their wounds. And not long after came the Lady of the Lake to the court, and told all there by her enchantments how Sir Pinel, and not the queen, was guilty of Sir Patrice's death. Whereat the queen was held excused of all men, and Sir Pinel fled the country. So Sir Patrice was buried in the church of Winchester, and it was written on his tomb that Sir Pinel slew him with a poisoned apple, in error for Sir Gawain. Then, through Sir Lancelot's favor, the queen was reconciled to Sir Mador, and all was forgiven. Now 15 days before the feast of the Assumption of Our Lady, the king proclaimed a tourney to be held that feast day at Camelot, whereat himself and the King of Scotland would joust with all who should come against them. So thither went the King of North Wales, and King Anguish of Ireland, and Sir Galahad the noble prince, and many other nobles of divers countries. And King Arthur made ready to go, and would have had the queen go with him, but she said that she was sick. Sir Lancelot also made excuses, saying he was not yet whole of his wounds. At that the king was passing heavy and grieved, and so departed alone towards Camelot. And by the way he lodged in a town called Astolat, and lay that night in the castle. As soon as he had gone, Sir Lancelot said to the queen, "This night I will rest, and tomorrow betimes will I take my way to Camelot, for at these justs I will be against the king and his fellowship." "Ye may do as ye list," said Queen Guinevere. "But by my counsel ye will not be against the king, for in his company are many hardy knights, as ye well know." "Madam," said Sir Lancelot, "I pray ye be not displeased with me, for I will take the adventure that God may send me." And on the morrow he went to the church and heard mass, and took his leave of the queen, and so departed. Then he rode long till he came to Astolat, and there lodged at the castle of an old baron called Sir Bernard of Astolat, which was near the castle where King Arthur lodged. And as Sir Lancelot entered, the king espied him, and knew him. Then said he to the knights, "I have just seen a knight who will fight full well at the joust toward which we go." "Who is it?" asked they. "As yet ye shall not know," he answered smiling. When Sir Lancelot was in his chamber unarming, the old baron came to him saluting him, though as yet he knew not who he was. Now Sir Bernard had a daughter passing beautiful, called the Fair Maid of Astolat, and when she saw Sir Lancelot she loved him from that instant with her whole heart, and could not stay from gazing on him. On the morrow Sir Lancelot asked the old baron to lend him a strange shield. "For," said he, "I would be unknown." "Sir," said his host, "ye shall have your desire, for here is the shield of my eldest son, Sir Torry, who was hurt the day he was made knight, so that he cannot ride, and his shield therefore is not known. And, if it please you, my youngest son, Sir Lavaine, shall ride with you to the justs, for he is of his age full strong and mighty, and I deem ye be a noble knight, wherefore I pray ye tell me your name." "As to that," said Sir Lancelot, "ye must hold me excused at this time, but if I speed well at the justs, I will come again and tell you. But in anywise let me have your son, Sir Lavaine, with me, and lend me his brother's shield." Then, ere they departed, came Elaine, the baron's daughter, and said to Sir Lancelot, "I pray thee, gentle knight, to wear my token at tomorrow's tourney." "If I should grant you that, fair damsel," said he, "ye might say that I did more for you than ever I have done for lady or damsel." Then he bethought him that if he granted her request, he would be the more disguised, for never before had he worn any lady's token. So anon he said, "Fair damsel, I will wear thy token on my helmet if thou wilt show it me." Thereat was she passing glad, and brought him a scarlet sleeve broidered with pearls, which Sir Lancelot took and put upon his helm. Then he prayed her to keep his shield for him until he came again, and taking Sir Torry's shield instead, rode forth with Sir Lavaine towards Camelot. On the morrow the trumpets blew for the tourney, and there was a great press of dukes and earls and barons and many noble knights, and King Arthur sat in a gallery to behold who did the best. So the King of Scotland and his knights, and King Anguish of Ireland rode forth on King Arthur's side. And against them came the King of North Wales, the King of 100 Knights, the King of Northumberland, and the noble Prince Sir Galahad. But Sir Launcelot and Sir Lavaine rode into a little wood behind the party which was against King Arthur, to watch which side should prove the weakest. Then was there a strong fight between the two parties, for the King of 100 Knights smote down the King of Scotland, and Sir Palomides, who was on King Arthur's side, overthrew Sir Galahad. Then came 15 knights of the Round Table and beat back the kings of Northumberland and North Wales with their knights. Now, said Sir Launcelot to Sir Lavaine, if ye will help me, ye shall see yonder fellowship go back as fast as they came. Sir, said Sir Lavaine, I will do what I can. Then they rode together into the thickest of the press, and there, with one spear, Sir Launcelot smote down 5 knights of the Round Table, one after other, and Sir Lavaine overthrew 2. And taking another spear, for his own was broken, Sir Launcelot smote down 4 more knights, and Sir Lavaine a 5th. Then, drawing his sword, Sir Launcelot fought fiercely on the right hand and the left, and unhorsed Sir Sapphire, Sir Epaminondas, and Sir Galeron. At that the knights of the Round Table withdrew themselves as well as they were able. Now mercy, said Sir Gawaine, who sat by King Arthur. What knight is that who doth such marvellous deeds of arms? I should deem him by his force to be Sir Launcelot, but that he wears a lady's token on his helm as never Launcelot doth. Let him be, said King Arthur. He will be better known, and do more ere he depart. Thus the party against King Arthur prospered at this time, and his knights were sore ashamed. Then Sir Bors, Sir Ector, and Sir Lionel called together the knights of their blood, 9 in number, and agreed to join together in one band against the 2 strange knights. So they encountered Sir Launcelot all at once, and by main force smote his horse to the ground. And by misfortune Sir Bors struck Sir Launcelot through the shield into the side, and the spear broke off and left the head in the wound. When Sir Lavaine saw that, he ran to the King of Scotland and struck him off his horse, and brought it to Sir Launcelot and helped him to mount. Then Sir Launcelot bore Sir Bors and his horse to the ground, and in like manner served Sir Ector and Sir Lionel. And turning upon 3 other knights he smote them down also, while Sir Lavaine did many gallant deeds. But feeling himself now sorely wounded, Sir Launcelot drew his sword, and proffered to fight with Sir Bors, who, by this time, was mounted anew. And as they met, Sir Ector and Sir Lionel came also, and the swords of all 3 drave fiercely against him. When he felt their buffets and his wound that was so grievous, he determined to do all his best while he could yet endure, and smote Sir Bors a blow that bent his head down nearly to the ground and raised his helmet off and pulled him from his horse. Then rushing at Sir Ector and Sir Lionel, he smote them down and might have slain all 3, but when he saw their faces his heart forbade him. Leaving them, therefore, on the field, he hurled into the thickest of the press, and did such feats of arms as never were beheld before. And Sir Lavaine was with him through it all, and overthrew 10 knights. But Sir Launcelot smote down more than 30, and most of them knights of the Round Table. Then the king ordered the trumpets to blow for the end of the tourney, and the prize to be given by the heralds to the knight with the white shield who bore the red sleeve. But ere Sir Launcelot was found by the heralds, came the King of the 100 Knights, the King of North Wales, the King of Northumberland, and Sir Galahad, and said to him, Fair knight, God bless thee, for much have ye done this day for us. Wherefore we pray ye come with us and receive the honour and the prize as ye have worshipfully deserved it. My fair lords, said Sir Launcelot, wit ye well if I have deserved thanks, I have sore bought them, for I am like never to escape with my life. Therefore I pray ye let me depart, for I am sore hurt. I take no thought of honour, for I had rather rest me than be lord of all the world. And therewith he groaned piteously, and rode a great gallop away from them. And Sir Lavaine rode after him, sad at heart, for the broken spear still stuck fast in Sir Launcelot's side, and the blood streamed sorely from the wound. Anon they came near a wood more than a mile from the lists, where he knew he could be hidden. Then said he to Sir Lavaine, O gentle knight, help me to pull out this spearhead from my side, for the pain thereof nigh killeth me. Dear lord, said he, I fain would help ye, but I dread to draw it forth, lest ye should die for loss of blood. I charge you as you love me, said Sir Launcelot, draw it out. So they dismounted, And with a mighty wrench Sir Lavaine drew the spear forth from Sir Lancelot's side, whereat he gave a marvellous great shriek and ghastly groan, and all his blood leaped forth in a full stream. Then he sank swooning to the earth, with a visage pale as death. "Alas!" cried Sir Lavaine, "what shall I do now?" And then he turned his master's face towards the wind, and sat by him nigh half an hour while he lay quiet as one dead. But at the last he lifted up his eyes and said, "I pray ye bear me on my horse again, and lead me to a hermit who dwelleth within 2 miles hence. For he was formerly a knight of Arthur's court, and now hath mighty skill in medicine and herbs." So with great pain Sir Lavaine got him to his horse, and led him to the hermitage within the wood, beside a stream. Then knocked he with his spear upon the door, and prayed to enter. At that a child came out, to whom he said, "Fair child, pray the good man thy master to come hither and let in a knight who is sore wounded." Anon came out the knight-hermit, whose name was Sir Baldwin, and asked, "Who is this wounded knight?" "I know not," said Sir Lavaine, "save that he is the noblest knight I ever met with, and hath done this day such marvellous deeds of arms against King Arthur that he hath won the prize of the tourney." Then the hermit gazed long on Sir Lancelot, and hardly knew him, so pale he was with bleeding. Yet said he at the last, "Who art thou, Lord?" Sir Lancelot answered feebly, "I am a stranger knight adventurous, who laboureth through many realms to win worship." "Why hidest thou thy name, dear Lord, from me?" cried Sir Baldwin. "For in sooth I know thee now to be the noblest knight in all the world, my lord Sir Lancelot du Lake, with whom I long had fellowship at the Round Table. Since ye know me, fair sir," said he, "I pray ye for Christ's sake to help me if ye may." "Doubt not," replied he, "that ye shall live and fare right well." Then he staunched his wound, and gave him strong medicines and cordials till he was refreshed from his faintness and came to himself again. Now after the jousting was done King Arthur held a feast, and asked to see the knight with the red sleeve that he might take the prize. So they told him how that knight had ridden from the field wounded nigh to death. "These be the worst tidings I have heard for many years," cried out the king. "I would not for my kingdom he were slain." Then all men asked, "Know ye him, Lord?" "I may not tell ye at this time," said he, "but would to God we had good tidings of him." Then Sir Gawaine prayed leave to go and seek that knight, which the king gladly gave him. So forthwith he mounted and rode many leagues round Camelot, but could hear no tidings. Within 2 days thereafter King Arthur and his knights returned from Camelot, and Sir Gawaine chanced to lodge at Astolat, in the house of Sir Bernard. And there came in the fair Elaine to him, and prayed him news of the tournament, and who won the prize. "A knight with a white shield," said he, "who bare a red sleeve in his helm, smote down all comers and won the day." At that the visage of Elaine changed suddenly from white to red, and heartily she thanked Our Lady. Then said Sir Gawaine, "Know ye that knight?" and urged her till she told him that it was her sleeve he wore. So Sir Gawaine knew it was for love that she had given it, and when he heard she kept his proper shield he prayed to see it. As soon as it was brought he saw Sir Lancelot's arms thereon, and cried, "Alas! Now am I heavier of heart than ever yet." "Wherefore?" said fair Elaine. "Fair damsel," answered he, "know ye not that the knight ye love is of all knights the noblest in the world, Sir Lancelot du Lake? With all my heart I pray ye may have joy of each other, but hardly dare I think that ye shall see him in this world again. For he is so sore wounded he may scarcely live, and is gone out of sight where none can find him." Then was Elaine nigh mad with grief and sorrow, and with piteous words she prayed her father that she might go seek Sir Lancelot and her brother. So in the end her father gave her leave, and she departed. And on the morrow came Sir Gawaine to the court, and told how he had found Sir Lancelot's shield in Elaine's keeping, and how it was her sleeve which he had worn. Whereat all marvelled, for Sir Lancelot had done for her more than he had ever done for any woman. But when Queen Guinevere heard it she was beside herself with wrath, and sending privily for Sir Bors, who sorrowed sorely that through him Sir Lancelot had been hurt. "Have ye now heard," said she, "how falsely Sir Lancelot hath betrayed me?" "I beseech thee, madame," said he, "speak not so, for else I may not hear thee." "Shall I not call him traitor?" cried she, "who hath worn another lady's token at the jousting? Be sure he did it, madame, for no ill intent, replied Sir Bors. But that he might be better hidden, for never did he in that wise before. Now shame on him, and thee who wouldest help him, cried the queen. Madam, say what ye will, said he. But I must haste to seek him, and God send me soon good tidings of him. So with that he departed to find Sir Lancelot. Now Elaine had ridden with full haste from Astolat, and come to Camelot, and there she sought throughout the country for any news of Lancelot. And so it chanced that Sir Lavaine was riding near the hermitage to exercise his horse. And when she saw him she ran up and cried aloud, How doth my lord Sir Lancelot fare? Then said Sir Lavaine, marvelling greatly, How know ye my lord's name, fair sister? So she told him how Sir Gawaine had lodged with Sir Bernard, and knew Sir Lancelot's shield. Then prayed she to see his lord forthwith, and when she came to the hermitage and found him lying there sore sick and bleeding, she swooned for sorrow. Anon, as she revived, Sir Lancelot kissed her and said, Fair maid, I pray ye take comfort, for, by God's grace, I shall be shortly whole of this wound, and if ye be come to tend me, I am heartily bounden to your great kindness. Yet was he sore vexed to hear Sir Gawaine had discovered him, for he knew Queen Guinevere would be full wroth because of the red sleeve. So Elaine rested in the hermitage, and ever night and day she watched and waited on Sir Lancelot, and would let none other tend him. And as she saw him more, the more she set her love upon him, and could by no means withdraw it. Then said Sir Lancelot to Sir Lavaine, I pray thee set some to watch for the good knight Sir Bors, for as he hurt me, so will he surely seek for me. Now Sir Bors by this time had come to Camelot, and was seeking for Sir Lancelot everywhere. So Sir Lavaine soon found him, and brought him to the hermitage. And when he saw Sir Lancelot pale and feeble, he wept for pity and sorrow that he had given him that grievous wound. God send thee a right speedy cure, dear lord, said he. For I am of all men most unhappy to have wounded thee, who art our leader, and the noblest knight in all the world. Fair cousin, said Sir Lancelot, be comforted, for I have but gained what I sought, and it was through pride that I was hurt, for had I warned ye of my coming it had not been. Wherefore let us speak of other things. So they talked long together, and Sir Bors told him of the queen's anger. Then he asked Sir Lancelot, Was it from this maid who tendeth you so lovingly ye had the token? Yea, said Sir Lancelot, and would I could persuade her to withdraw her love from me. Why should ye do so? Said Sir Bors. For she is passing fair and loving. I would to heaven ye could love her. That may not be, replied he. But it repenteth me in sooth to grieve her. Then they talked of other matters, and of the great jousting at Allhallowtide next coming, between King Arthur and the King of North Wales. Abide with me till then, said Sir Lancelot. For by that time I trust to be all whole again, and we will go together. So Elaine daily and nightly tending him, within a month he felt so strong he deemed himself full cured. Then on a day, when Sir Bors and Sir Lavaine were from the hermitage, and the knight-hermit also was gone forth, Sir Lancelot prayed Elaine to bring him some herbs from the forest. When she was gone he rose and made haste to arm himself, and try if he were whole enough to joust, and mounted on his horse, which was fresh with lack of labor for so long a time. But when he set his spear in the rest and tried his armor, the horse bounded and leapt beneath him, so that Sir Lancelot strained to keep him back. And therewith his wound, which was not wholly healed, burst forth again, and with a mighty groan he sank down swooning on the ground. At that came fair Elaine and wept and piteously moaned to see him lying so. And when Sir Bors and Sir Lavaine came back, she called them traitors to let him rise, or to know any rumor of the tournament. Anon the hermit returned and was wroth to see Sir Lancelot risen. But within a while he recovered him from his swoon and staunched the wound. Then Sir Lancelot told him how he had risen of his own will to essay his strength for the tournament. But the hermit bade him rest and let Sir Bors go alone, for else would he sorely peril his life. And Elaine, with tears, prayed him in the same wise, so that Sir Lancelot in the end consented. So Sir Bors departed to the tournament, and there he did such feats of arms that the prize was given between him and Sir Gawaine, who did like valiantly. And when all was over he came back and told Sir Lancelot, and found him so nigh well that he could rise and walk. And within a while thereafter he departed from the hermitage and went with Sir Bors, Sir Lavaine, and fair Elaine to Astolat, where Sir Bernard joyfully received them. But after they had lodged there a few days, Sir Lancelot and Sir Bors must needs depart and return to King Arthur's court. So when Elaine knew Sir Lancelot must go, she came to him and said, "Have mercy on me, fair knight, and let me not die for your love." Then said Sir Lancelot, very sad at heart, "Fair maid, what would ye that I should do for you? If I may not be your wife, dear lord," she answered, "I must die." "Alas," said he, "I pray heaven that may not be, for in sooth I may not be your husband. But fain would I show ye what thankfulness I can for all your love and kindness to me. And ever will I be your knight, fair maiden. And if it chance that ye shall ever wed some noble knight, right heartily will I give ye such a dower as half my lands will bring." "Alas, what shall that aid me?" answered she, "for I must die." And therewith she fell to the earth in a deep swoon. Then was Sir Lancelot passing heavy of heart, and said to Sir Bernard and Sir Lavaine, "What shall I do for her?" "Alas," said Sir Bernard, "I know well that she will die for your sake." And Sir Lavaine said, "I marvel not that she so sorely mourneth your departure, for truly I do as she doth, and since I once have seen you, Lord, I cannot leave you." So anon, with a full sorrowful heart, Sir Lancelot took his leave, and Sir Lavaine rode with him to the court. And King Arthur and the knights of the Round Table joyed greatly to see him whole of his wound. But Queen Guinevere was sorely wroth, and neither spake with him nor greeted him. Now when Sir Lancelot had departed, the maid of Astolat could neither eat, nor drink, not sleep for sorrow, and having thus endured 10 days, she felt within herself that she must die. Then sent she for a holy man, and was shriven and received the sacrament. But when he told her she must leave her earthly thoughts, she answered, "Am I not an earthly woman? What sin is it to love the noblest knight of all the world? And, by my truth, I am not able to withstand the love whereof I die. Wherefore, I pray the High Father of Heaven to have mercy on my soul." Then she besought Sir Bernard to indite a letter as she should devise, and said, "When I am dead, put this within my hand, and dress me in my fairest clothes, and lay me in a barge all covered with black samite, and steer it down the river till it reach the court. Thus, Father, I beseech thee, let it be." Then, full of grief, he promised her it should be so. And anon she died, and all the household made a bitter lamentation over her. Then did they as she had desired, and laid her body, richly dressed, upon a bed within the barge, and a trusty servant steered it down the river towards the court. Now King Arthur and Queen Guinevere sat at a window of the palace, and saw the barge come floating with the tide, and marveled what was laid therein, and sent a messenger to see, who, soon returning, prayed them to come forth. When they came to the shore they marveled greatly, and the king asked of the serving men who steered the barge what this might mean. But he made signs that he was dumb, and pointed to the letter in the damsel's hands. So King Arthur took the letter from the hand of the corpse, and found thereon written, "To the noble knight Sir Lancelot du Lake." Then was Sir Lancelot sent for, and the letter read aloud by a clerk, and thus it was written, "Most noble knight, my lord Sir Lancelot, now hath death for ever parted us. I, whom men call the Maid of Astolat, set my love upon you, and have died for your sake. This is my last request, that ye pray for my soul and give me burial. Grant me this, Sir Lancelot, as thou art a peerless knight." At these words the queen and all the knights wept sore for pity. Then said Sir Lancelot, "My lord, I am right heavy for the death of this fair damsel, and God knoweth that right unwillingly I caused it, for she was good as she was fair, and much was I beholden to her. But she loved me beyond measure, and asked me that I could not give her." "Ye might have shown her gentleness enough to save her life," answered the queen. "Madam," said he, "she would but be repaid by my taking her to wife, and that I could not grant her, for love cometh of the heart and not by constraint." "That is true," said the king, "for love is free. I pray you," said Sir Lancelot, "let me now grant her last asking to be buried by me." So on the morrow, he caused her body to be buried richly and solemnly, and ordained masses for her soul, and made great sorrow over her. Then the queen sent for Sir Lancelot, and prayed his pardon for her wrath against him without cause. "This is not the first time it hath been so," answered he. "Yet must I ever bear with ye, and so do I now forgive you." So Queen Guinevere and Sir Launcelot were made friends again. But anon such favour did she show him, as in the end brought many evils on them both and all the realm.